MEF is a global platform bringing together the entire ecosystem around network as a service. So all of the different types of stakeholders need to come together and collaborate to make NaaS a reality. And so this includes service providers, it includes data centers, it includes vendors, and ultimately includes the enterprise community as well. And what we're doing first and foremost is we're providing kind of industry leadership documents, blueprints and white papers, North Star type documents to kind of coalesce the industry around things like what is NaaS, standard definitions of NaaS, what are the building blocks. So it's really kind of bring the community together and align. Now, beyond that, of course, some technical work that we're doing, which is building on what we've done for many years, things such as standards for connectivity services supporting NaaS, security services, certifications for those services. Most importantly, I would say, is that we've established, with tremendous adoption, a framework for standardized APIs for the automation of this entire ecosystem that I referred to, ranging from, or starting with the enterprise, right through to the retail provider, wholesale providers, data centers. All of the different stakeholders need to come together. Their services need to be integrated and automated to form a viable NaaS offering. With respect to automation, we released a framework approximately 8 years ago called Lifecycle Service Orchestration, or LSO. We spent, all of these years and a lot of money building out a very, very comprehensive API portfolio designed to automate this, what is now the NaaS ecosystem. And the functionality is at both a business and operational level, business things like quoting, between buyers and sellers and ordering and so on and so forth. All of the business functions related to the transacting services. And then of course, operational functions related to operating the services themselves. And it's really driven by the fact that if you think about an ecosystem needing to be operated together, or automated together, it's impossible to do efficiently without standard APIs. And there's a lot of specialization in this space. So one of the things that's important is an ability to use a standard set of APIs to be able to support the transactions, automation transactions of a range of products that are being sold to an enterprise. It could be an SD-WAN service, it could be cloud services, it could be security, it could be a bundle of all of those, as well as the components of that need to be transacted in a wholesale ecosystem. So the LSO API portfolio was very flexible in that, it really can support all of the different product services, whether they be standardized or customized. And that has really resulted in, tremendous adoption momentum of those services. AI and NaaS, I would say, is still at a relatively early stage. AI will be a big driver of bandwidth, and that bandwidth will be increasingly procured as a service, on demand. You'll want it quickly. But there are AI offerings that will want to be sold by service providers to enterprises. An example we're looking at from a use case is GPU as a service. So AI-driven use cases available as a service. Those are just a couple of examples. I would say MEF is in an early stage of really exploring all of the options, understanding the priorities associated with AI and NaaS, and really charting our kind of roadmap, where we see things going in that regard, and the specific role that we're going to play. If you think about the role of standards and the transformation of networks, the offerings of those networks, the ultimate consumer is going to be looking for some evidence that what they're procuring is going to work as predicted, right? And certifications have a really important role where you can bring a third party in to demonstrate compliance. Maybe it's around the transport service, maybe it's around the security offering. It could be about the APIs that are used for automation. And so that third party validation is very useful from the perspective of the buyer or the consumer, but at the same time, the company that's spending money to certify that offering, whatever it is, really reaps the benefit of marketability, to be able to put a stamp on it and say, I've been tested against global standards, certain functionalities by a third party, and that improves my sales and marketing ability for that product.